Why do Africans ride rhinos in a helicopter, plus hanging them upside down? And also in this video you will find out why in America live fish are dropped from planes into water bodies and why it does not break from such a great height. If you love life, then subscribe to the channel and express your opinion in the comments. So let's start with the rhinoceroses, which are taken by helicopter. This is actually a scientific experiment funded by the Namibian Ministry of the Environment. This helps save the black rhino population from further decline. Rhinos are hunted by poachers, and no matter how much they fight with them, the jackpot is too big, and poachers find loopholes. Black rhinos are smaller than white rhinos, but still quite large. The average rhinoceros has a body length of more than 3 meters and a weight of 2 tons. Sad is the reason why they are hunted. Their horns are extremely expensive. They are widely used in Oriental medicine. It is believed that this is an amazing cure for many diseases. But the value is clearly overrated. Rhinoceros horn does not consist of bone tissue, but of the keratin protein from which in particular our hair consists. And it can be found in regular protein foods too. A large rhinoceros horn weighs over 20 kilograms. At a price of $65,000 per kilogram, one horn costs $1.3 million. Of course, for the sake of such a profit, poachers take risks. Now the population of black rhinos has decreased to a minimum. Most rhinos live in national parks and reserves. Here, unlike in the wild, they are relatively safe from poachers. But there is another difficulty. There are few rhinos, so there is a classic problem: inbreeding. This is the name given to the problem when closely related individuals interbreed in animals. For this reason, for example, the Habsburg royal dynasty, which was powerful in Europe, degenerated. Due to closely related marriages, they began to develop hereditary diseases. It's the same with animals. In addition, resistance to diseases is reduced. After all, there is no diversity of the genome and different responses to pathogens. Therefore, half of the young rhinos are taken from their families and sent to other flocks. But why are they transported in such frankly cruel way? Because it turned out to be safe for the animal itself. Sure, it's weird, but there is nothing you can do about it. They tried different options. Animals are euthanized before packing, and when they were being transported lying in boxes, their muscles were damaged, which could not hold a huge weight in this position. Some rhinoceros had compressed lungs. Robin Radcliffe, a veterinarian at Cornell University, was looking for the perfect position, and he figured out that it was attaching a rhinoceros upside down. Crazy idea, but it worked, and continues to work to this day. It is unlikely that anyone will come up with a better option for transporting rhinos. And now let's move to the USA and see how they throw fish from planes at great speed and from great heights. In the United States, they decided to implement a project to stock lakes in Utah. For transportation of fish to the reservoir, they chose air transport, airplanes. The stocking of lakes with trout is carried out not only in order to preserve the population. The state receives a decent income from the tourism business. The lakes are located in the mountains quite high. This doesn't stop the anglers, but they are ready to go a long way if they are sure that the catch will please them. Otherwise, they will stop going there. In this regard, the lakes are stocked with fish. But why the plane? Why not at least use a car? The problem is that there are practically no roads in the mountains. Before that, fish were transported in cans, which were attached to horses' backs. As it turned out, this is not the best option for fish. Only about 50% of individuals survived, which is too few. When dropped from an airplane, the survival rate was much higher. It was 95%. Surprising, but true. And why then, when falling, the fish does not die, does not break? The fish are dropped from a height similar to the height of a 9-story building, and the speed is crazy. In theory, most of it should have been broken. But before the project was implemented, the specialists calculated everything to the smallest detail. Not all fish are transported, but only with specific indicators of weight and size. It should not be very light or heavy. They are no longer fry, but they have not yet matured to adults. If these parameters are observed, the fish practically does not suffer when falling and quickly passes the adaptation period in a new place. These are the crazy ideas for saving animals that US scientists came up with. But there are animals on our planet that do not need the help of people. And at the end of the video, we will talk about the coolest survivalists of nature. These animals just spit in the faces of poachers and death. Don't switch, it will be interesting.
He's just gonna chill.
Most animals are still quite good at surviving in the wild, but there are some among them that are absolutely impossible to kill. If all of a sudden even all the people in the world became poachers and wanted to destroy these animals, they would not be able to carry out their plan. Most likely they would have died themselves than destroyed these animals. You may have heard of extremophiles. This is such a class of animals that are distinguished by their addiction to extreme living conditions. It is unlikely that turtles are the first animals that come to your mind when it comes to invincible and persistent creatures. However, one species of turtles may well qualify for this title. American freshwater turtles are one of the tough guys. Unlike other vertebrates which live only a couple of minutes or hours without oxygen, American freshwater turtles can hold their breath for months. They winter under ice in North American lakes. And all this time they live without access to oxygen and resist very strong acidification. When fresh oxygen is not supplied to the body, both humans and turtles experience massive increases in lactic acid levels, which are guaranteed to lead to death within a few hours. But American freshwater turtles have found a solution. The shell acts as a buffer for acid, which holds back changes in the acid-base balance for several months. However, our turtles do not win first place in the competition for breath holding and survival. The undisputed world champions of survival are the microscopic water bears, also known as tardigrades. In terms of survival, tardigrades are superior to every living creature that lives on Earth. They live all around us. The secret of tardigrades is that they can go into a kind of hibernation, during which they dry out, losing almost all fluids. In this state, tardigrades can survive with little to no oxygen, withstand intense radiation, and even remain frozen for years without dying. They remain frozen for most of their lives, resurrect for 2 to 3 weeks, and then freeze again. Tardigrades can be found in almost any environment, from mountain peaks to 8 kilometers of sea depths. They live even deep in the ice of the Greenland Shield. In addition, tardigrades are the only multicellular animal to have survived the journey outside the rocket. Mankind has never seen anything more extreme. Of course, there are some other super survivalists called Loricifera. These animals generally spend their entire lives without oxygen. But we will talk about them and their unique abilities in one of our next videos. Also, this list of preppers is not complete. We only named a few interesting animals with extraordinary abilities, but there are many more. We can only admire the diversity of nature created by God and study His wisdom which He expressed in His creation. Well, we do not say goodbye, but as always, see you soon.